Hello Galaxy Commanders and welcome to this video for Infinite Galaxy. Today it is time that we take a look into flagship gear again. We did all this discussion about flagships, flagship tier lists, which ships I recommend, and as you see I already prepare now some very basic trials to check the flagship equipment. So I keep everything, weapons, captains, I keep them, and I will only play around with 3 defensive modules in the main flagship, just to make it a little bit easier to see the effect. So we start with 3 HP modules, and what we are going to do, we are going to attack level 35 pirates. Hopefully we have one level 35 close to our base so that the flight times won't be that bad. There is one, perfect. So I hope not to kill this pirate, I hope to lose, and then we can compare how many losses or how many damage we managed to do against this pirate. So the more damage we do, the longer we survived, the longer we were able to stay alive, and that means the better the equipment performed. I did choose to use 3 modules because I will start with 3 times HP, then we do 3 times armor, 3 times shield, but then we can also mix. We can mix all 3 together, we can mix 2 and 1, and this just gives us a few options to play around with, as long as we would not kill the pirate. Okay, so that didn't went very well. Give me a second to just make the fleet a little bit weaker, and then we will try this again. Okay, next try. I did remove some power from the fleet. I don't want to make it too weak, so I want to be at least like that I can kill it to 75%, that we really have a realistic or an as close as realistic, interesting, whatever you want to call it, results there. So as you see, this is not strong enough, so I will need to make it a little bit stronger again. Strange that the difference was so huge. I only took out some of the cruisers. Let's bring it in here to around 21 and just run it again against the same pirates. As soon as we found a setting that works, I will not change the fleet setup anymore. So I will only change the gear that we use on the flagship and nothing else. That is how I want to run this. I will run it on 2 different fleet setups. One is the Prometheus setup with a mixed fleet, the one that we can see here. And the other one will be then my Cyclops fleet, where we will use mainly cruisers. Just also to get a little bit better understanding or overview. I'm just gonna go to make this all get now a little bit faster, and then I will come back with the final results as soon as I were running all the different tests, so that you don't have to watch me doing this for the next probably like 20 minutes. So yeah, let's do this and be back then. Okay, so we did these tests, and the last fight I just switched back to full HP, just to make sure that we will always get the same results. So the first one, and you can see this here, I look at the power loss, 8942926. It is exactly the same. So This was a number we got with only HP modules. Second try we did do 3 HP armor mixed modules. Here we managed to do 8955. So we got a little higher output than with only HP. Doing only shields did not really work very well. This was the worst result of all of them. I then mixed each of them, so 1 HP, 1 armor HP, 1 shield, where we got 8966, which was even more than 3 times armor HP. And as a armor HP are already mixed ones, I decided to go with 2 armor HP, 1 shield, and there we got up to 8971. As said, the last fight I did switch again to only HP to see that it is really repeatable, and it's exactly the same result. So from that, mixing the modules as evenly as possible gives us now the best possible result. Now it depends what kind of equipment you have. I only have blue equipment, which would mean that I would probably go with the highest amount of armor HP mixed and then add shield in a ratio of 2 to 1. But I don't want to stop here. So this was for a fleet composition that is fairly mixed, and I also wanted to give this a try using my Prontus, where I do have a highly a 90% cruiser setup, so mainly cruisers, and what I add to the cruisers are just 10 to maximum 20% frigates. So what I'm going to do now is I will run exactly the same test scenarios, but this time I will use my Cyclops Prontus fleet. We do have tier 9 cruisers here, 16,000. I will keep 1,000 leadership in the T8 and 1,000 leadership in the T9 frigates. Let me move it. So, and the rest we will fill up with the cruisers. That's the setup we are going to use. Why do I mix them? I found that I got the best results mixing them. As you see before, I was even running 20% of the frigates total. Now it is more close to around 10%. Okay, same thing again. I will make this a little bit faster for you so you don't have to watch the whole time, and be back with the summary then. Okay, so I finished it and I quickly put it in an Excel sheet, just that we have a little better overview. So excuse all the numbers, I'll quickly explain and go through them. So I messed this up, the microphone was not working, I just have to record it now after in the editing. As you can see, I added a percentage value next to this. I did normalize the percentage value on the highest output that we got. So for the Prometheus, the highest output we had was with armor shield module. For the Cyclops, it was with armor HP, armor HP, armor HP. So there's a difference depending on what kind of setup you have. Now the important thing to note here is the percentage numbers, because as you can see for the Prometheus setup with a mixed fleet, the biggest difference is from 100% going down to 99.08%, meaning you lose around 1%. Not really the biggest loss you can get. We did not have the full equipment. We only used 3 modules out of possibly 9 modules, meaning if you use all modules, this could maybe go up to around 3%. Still, 3% is not like game changing. For the Cyclops setup, we got from 100% down to 97% compared to the shield. So there we talk about a 3% drop. If we now would multiply this with 3, we can come up with a total of a 10% drop, which is already much more significant than compared to the Prometheus setup. My understanding why this is like this is the Prometheus is set up mainly with destroyers that have a very well balanced stats, while on the Cyclops we are using mainly cruisers which are very HP focused, HP armor focused, and not really have much shield compared to the other values. If you do use a fleet setup like I do on the Cyclops. On my Cyclops I run mainly kinetic cruisers, and kinetic cruisers are very high in HP compared to armor and shield. We have 18,000, 3,000, 7,000. So if we compare shield, it is, I don't know, 40%, something like this. Armor is around 15%. If you run something with a lot of frigates, especially like missile frigates, where you get a really high armor ratio, like here we have 2000 HP, 4000 armor, 2000 HP, 900 shield. So we get much higher shield, we get much higher armor values compared to the HP. Then it starts to really make sense to mix in additional equipment. The main power on my Prometheus is coming from destroyers, laser destroyers, where we do have a very healthy mix of HP, armor and shield. And I think that's the reason why for destroyers it really is beneficial to use a high mixture equipment. For our cruisers it seems to be most efficient to have high HP with additional armor. Keep in mind the modules I have that increase armor are already mixed HP armor modules. I do not have HP only modules. This is because my equipment that I have is blue equipment and there's just no thing like a blue HP only module. If you run green equipment, I wouldn't worry at all about it. If you do run purple equipment, you do get a little bit more options. We have armor only modules, we have shield only modules, we do have HP only modules, and now we have shield armor modules. So you have to think about then what you're using. I think the armor shield modules, they will work very likely perfectly with frigates. So for frigates, I would very likely use something like this. For my cruisers, I will go for a high amount of HP armor, and for the mixed fleet, I will go with a mixed one, because I said there I am running destroyers, and destroyers seem to work very well with a mixed defensive gear setup. I hope this video helped you a little bit to decide what you are going for. The more mixed your fleet is, the smaller the difference will be, the less you will lose if you go more in one direction than the other. The more specialized you go, saying you go frigates. I didn't do any tests because I don't really have any frigate fleets. Let me know what you found out. I would bet that a shield armor combination will work very well on them. If you go cruisers like I do, go for HP only or for HP armor mix. Don't go for the shields there. That would be my recommendation. So as said, destroyers, mix it how you have it. Cruisers, use more HP armor than shield. I will go, just because I have it, I will go with a lot of HP modules there. Let's make the equipment quickly. Still think we still have a little bit of time here. So just to do the equipment right, okay, we will remove this. So here I want really to go with at least, we will take 2 mixed modules, 3 mixed modules to shield. So we go, yeah, I hate that you always have to click all of these. We go 1, we go 2, and here will be number 3. And then we will add 2 shield modules in there. This should give us a really solid base. We will do the same thing if possible. Yeah, here we will already start running into some equipment trouble. Luckily we can remove these. So you already see, if I don't want to rework my whole equipment, my cruiser fleet will run mainly on HP only. So we take 1. As I do have 2 shields, I will put them both inside there. Yes, I do see that this one is not leveled up. That will be my next task to do. So let's see, I only have 1 armor module left. I think I will redo at least some of my equipment, but not all of it. So let's take 2 HP modules each. We still want to have a strong fleet, so we will take 2 HP modules. Then we will see that we can scrap down the remaining HP modules. This cost us 100 corium. I'm really happy that this is so cheap, so we don't really have to worry much about this. I probably should already build some of the modules here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want to use 4 of them. Let's see if we can already rank them up. 1 we have left over there. Upgrade. I hope I do not run into problems with materials again. This is really the biggest challenge with all this equipment. I can see this porcelain parts, they are getting low already, and I don't think that I get any in return. No, I don't get them in return if I break down an HP module. So I won't be able to upgrade that completely anymore. Now let's see where we are. I think we only have 2 armor modules. That means we will have to equip 1 more HP module. That's how it is. Over time I will get still more and better equipment step by step. I do get more materials and can upgrade more of my gear. But as you may already know, I mentioned that in some of the other videos, I prefer to make sure that my weapons are always fully upgraded on the highest possible level, and the defensive gear comes later. It just makes a bigger difference there. Okay, so yeah, that's my final setup now. I will be able to do level 35 pirates with that. I'm pretty sure about this. I just can increase here the number of the remaining cruisers. Here we were already on top, but I know that my fleet actually is stronger with a little more. We will bring them both to close to 2000, and I know that this is the strongest setup of my fleet that I can have. Let's see. They both should be able now to kill level 35 pirates again. I always like to have 2 fleets for level 35 pirates. just because it does allow me to go through my daily tasks much faster. When we don't have any deep space relicts and when we have to kill there for the pirates, having 2 fleets being able to do high level pirates just cuts down the time you need in half. At the moment, level 35 pirates are the only thing that really are somehow, let's say, interesting. Tactical training base is a joke. With every of my real fighting fleets, I can do the tactical training based last level. I don't need to make sure that it is set up correctly for this or anything like this. So this just goes more or less by itself. What else? Oh, we do have, while we are fighting here, I hope we will get a return there. While we are fighting here, we do have at the moment, don't miss that out, in the Triumph of Justice, we do have the crew recruit event. You have to recruit 25 crew members to get the last reward. So don't forget to do this. I just saw the fleet was returning, so we should have been able to do now level 35 pirates with both setups, fully equipped in defensive gear. Yes, we are. So I do not forget it. I will quickly recruit my 25 crew members, and if I'm lucky, I will pull some legendary crew, epic, another epic. I mean, epic is also not bad, but it's not what I'm hoping for. I really hope for more legendary, because that will also trigger the special buying event where you do get even more. I don't think it will get triggered by the epic ones, where you can pay, I think it's $5, and you can get additional 20 ID cards. So every time you get a duplicate legendary crew member, you can get additional ID cards again for spending a small amount of money. But no, we were not lucky. Last chance here, also not. So a few epics at least, but no Legos. Okay, so I hope this video helped you. Give me your feedback in the comment section, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, join us on Discord. We have a really great Discord community. The link is in the description. Hope to see you there soon, and yes, and I see you all on the next video again.